Dear students, welcome to Physics Truth Local. In this session, again we shall learn about resultant vector tricks in addition of vectors and subtraction of vectors. In the last class we have seen this. In addition of vectors, the magnitude of the resultant is given by root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. And subtraction of vectors, magnitude of resultant is given by root of a square plus b square minus 2ab cos theta. In this session, the same results we can apply when the magnitude of the two vectors are equal. Suppose if A equals to B is equal to magnitude of two vectors are same, then if magnitude of two vectors are given, resultant is given by, for addition of vectors you will get R is equal to 2p cos theta by 2. And for subtraction of vectors, if A is equal to B, then resultant is given by R is equal to 2p sin theta by 2, where theta is the angle between the two vectors. And now, if theta is equal to 0 degrees, here the resultant value will get it as A is equal to B is equal to, here let us suppose the magnitude of the vectors is P. So if theta is equal to 0, cos 0 is 1, so you will get the resultant as 2p. Here also the resultant, if theta is equal to 0, sin 0 is 0, the resultant you will get it is 0. And theta is equal to 60 degrees if you take, the resultant you are getting it as 60 by 2, cos 60 by 2 is cos 30, root 3 by 2. So you will get root 3 p. And here the resultant you will get it as, for theta is equal to 60 degrees, this is for theta is equal to 0 degrees and theta is equal to 60 degrees, the resultant you are getting it as 60 sin 30 is 1 by 2. So the resultant you are getting it as p. If theta is equal to 90 degrees, the resultant you are getting it as here 90 by 2 cos 45. If you substitute 1 by root 2, then you will get the resultant value as root 2p. If theta is equal to 90 degrees, here the resultant value you will get it as again root 2p only. If theta is equal to 120 degrees, the resultant here you will get it as 120 cos 60 is 1 by 2. So the resultant you will get it as p only. And here in subtraction of vectors, if theta is equal to 120, then the resultant you will get it as 120 sin 60 is root 3 by 2. So 2 gets cancelled, root 3p. If theta is equal to 180 degrees, 180 by 2 cos 90 is 0. So the resultant you will get it as 0. If theta is equal to 180 degrees in subtraction of vectors, then the resultant you will get it as 2p. So this is for addition of vectors and subtraction of vectors. The first one is for addition of vectors. This is for addition of vectors. And this is for subtraction of vectors. Now see, here also you observe the same thing, just what we observed in the previous class. If theta, in addition of vectors, if you got some result for 60 degrees, the same result you will get for 120 degrees. And here the 120 degrees, if you got one result as the resultant value is p, the same result you will get for theta is equal to 60 degrees. And let us solve one problem by using this table. Suppose problem is given like this. Two unit vectors are there, a bar and b bar are there. If you have these two unit vectors, then again you are getting a unit vector, let us suppose it is c bar. And in the problem it is asked to find what is the difference of those unit vectors like this. If it is asked, we can observe here one thing, that here two unit vectors of same magnitude. Magnitude of a is equal to b is equal to some p, like that it is given. If both the vectors are having the same magnitude, you see, if the both vectors are having the same magnitude, then you will get the same vector when theta is equal to 120 degrees. So we can understand that here theta is equal to 120 degrees in addition. If theta is equal to 120 degrees in addition, you can see in subtraction for the same 120 degrees you will get the resultant as root 3p. So without solving the problem, we can say here in subtraction we will get a cap minus b cap. We will get another vector, let us suppose d cap. The d cap value you will get the magnitude of this d cap is d cap naught, and it is not a unit vector. Now a cap minus b cap you will get it as some d bar, and this d bar value you can see from the table. For theta is equal to 120 degrees, you will get from the table you are getting it as root 3p. So without solving, just if you have the idea about this table, for in addition, if theta is equal to 120, you are getting the value as p. If for the same 120 in subtraction, you are getting root 3p. That's what we used here. So with the help of this kind of techniques, we can solve the problems very easily. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Let us meet in the next video. Thank you very much.